So while Venerable Children is gone, the residents of the community will do these Bodhisattva breakfast corners. And I've decided that my theme for a while will be equanimity, because that's something that I have a motivation to cultivate. And so for people who aren't so familiar with that, equanimity is a mind that's free of bias, attachment, and anger, and it's quite easy to understand the words, but it's quite difficult to cultivate. And for, I don't know, a while now, in every meditation session, I've been spending some time with one of these verses of the Four Immeasurables about equanimity that's written a little bit differently. And I wanted to share a little bit about that today. And the verse says, "May all beings be parted from clinging and aversion, feeling close to some and distant from others." And so what I've been doing is, at that part, clinging and aversion, trying to recognize that in my mind, and feeling close to some and distant from others. And so I've been just, like every day for a while, putting image up of two people, one that is easy for me to feel close to, and one that sometimes things come up with, and it's easy for me to have a feeling of distance. And I've been just watching those images and working with it, trying to break down my habitual reactions. And it's been very interesting to do this. I would encourage people to find some way to work with this. So I try to explore this in different ways, like, why do I see these people this way, and what are the different layers of things that are going on? And so this is what I wanted to share about a little bit. One of the first things that I've been aware of is, because we've been talking so much about trust lately, is that what are the triggers that come up for me that make me feel like a feeling of like closeness to one person and then wanting to cling to them, and distance from another person, and then a sense of aversion coming up. And I think that everyone needs to, when you do this meditation, you can just repeatedly, like, well, what is going on there? Just look. What is happening that's making this happen in my mind, with my interactions with this person? For me, what usually it relates to is speech, what's happening with the words. And I find repeatedly for years since I've lived here that I have a lot of attachment to kind words and a lot of aversion to things that I perceive as not kind words. And which is funny, because when I find that in my experience, it always reminds me of some of the stupid things I've said in the past. Like, it's like they have that expression, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. So, this is my thing that I need to learn about in life, I mean, I look at my own actions. It's just the, the boomerang coming back, the wheel of sharp weapons coming back. And it's so consistent and repeated. And of course, we all have an easy time saying things that are not kind. I'm not singling myself out, but it's just interesting to see what are your triggers. And so that's one thing I just thought to start with, is to share, finding a way. I actually like these words a lot, this sense of closeness that I have, and then this sense of distance I have, and just put those two people up there, and just in your session, just keep kind of trying to tear that apart in what way works for your mind. And that's what I thought I'd spend some of the different reflections I've had. So I'm offering that as a little thought experiment for people, maybe to recognize that, play with the image, and see what comes up. What are your triggers, and why do they come up? What are you attached to, or averse to, or where's the ignorance entering in? Enjoy. Be easy on yourself.